Listo, chiquillos, creo que estamos live. Nos perdimos el setup, pero no importa.
I'm sure have heard, and it was from the Soviet Union, a dissident of the Soviet Union, Alexander Solzhenitsyn. He said, we know they are lying. They know they are lying. They know we know that they are lying. And Solzhenitsyn said, but they are still lying. That is our world. That was the Soviets. This is what has become of America, and it's a shame.
Crypto in America. White House Crypto Council Executive Director explains how the CEA report shaped stablecoin yield compromise.
Banks have been notably quiet since this report was released on Wednesday morning. What, if anything, have you heard from them privately, and would it have any effect on the status of negotiations at all?
The CEA report was actually something that we asked them to look into back in January when the markup came down. They took a considerable amount of time, did a lot of research looking into the issues, and really did a proper treatment, which is what we were hoping that they would do, so that there was just another group of PhDs, very smart people who understand economics at a much more profound level than I certainly do, and that I think the senators are comfortable dealing in, to look at the issue and see what their thought was. And so it came back. We had an opportunity to brief a lot of the senators on the findings in the report weeks ago, and that helped the discussions around the compromise on rewards and yield get to the place that they ultimately ended up. So not necessarily new information to the senators that are involved in working on that compromise, but good to have it out there publicly so that people can engage with it, and that there is just another independent view as to the issue at hand. People are obviously concerned on either side of it and advocating for their position, and I think this was just another helpful data point, objective view of the issue.
More crypto adoption, derivative markets, quadrillions in value, regulations, and clarity.
Well, good morning, and thank you so much for having me here on the show. So I think what's really important to understand is that we are doing a limited pilot program that has important guardrails that are in place, because we've seen with the events that have happened on offshore exchanges that it's more important than ever that Americans deserve safe U.S. markets under U.S. regulations. So what
mercados claros, que es lo que va a traer la Clarity Act, pero billones de dólares, billones van a entrar una hora que la Clarity Act suceda. Eso es lo que están hablando en este momento, es lo que hemos estado esperando durante mucho tiempo. Prácticamente la Clarity Act ya sucedió el 19, cuando anunciaron las nuevas 16 monedas para el stack de la Reserva Federal de los Estados Unidos. Son monedas que van a ser utilizadas para la bolsa de valores de los Estados Unidos, la SS es Andrea fueron aprobados.
What we've done to structure this pilot program is that if you are using a CFTC broker, which is what are our Futures Commission merchants, those are registered by us, those are overseen by us and the National Futures Association, which is like FINRA, you will be able to use Bitcoin, Ether, and USDC to collateralize contracts that are denominated in those Bitcoin, Ether, or USDC.
Ya te apostaba, me gustaban los casinos. Ya no apuesto, ya no voy a los casinos. Ahora compro monedas, ya el hombre. Raspando una raspadita, que pegue 20 pesos, viejo. Ahorita me lo bendiga, que pegue 100,000.
And
compro un poco de eso. Vamos a retirar fuera del camión gracias a eso.
It's basically in-kind collateral, so that's very limited in what you can do. You can't use it instead of cash, for example, but you can use it to collateralize those in-kind contracts. And then we are putting into place enhanced
just to be
monitoring.
clarified, it's in-kind, so Bitcoin for Bitcoin, or could it be Bitcoin for Ethereum?
Bitcoin for Bitcoin. So if you're going to settle in Bitcoin, it's denominated in Bitcoin, you can collateralize it with Bitcoin because it's the same way risk. And we have enhanced CFTC monitoring and reporting in place. So for 3 months, we are requiring that we not only get weekly position and asset class reporting, that's on top of the normal reporting that our exchanges do, but we are also asking for a reporting of any significant operational issues relating to that digital asset collateral. So again, this is a safe way to understand the technology, to understand the uses for these assets, but in a controlled way.
Chart nerd Franklin Templeton, Ripple, all roads lead to the bridge, 411, XRP. We got President Trump leaves his umbrella at the door. We're at the end. Truman Show.